Hi and welcome to another game video, and in today's video I want to say happy birthday to the Xbox 360. It turns 20 years old today. Yep, November the 22nd 2005 saw Microsoft release the sequel to their debut console, and to date I think it's the biggest selling Microsoft console. And it was the first in the 7th gen line of consoles, so Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo Wii. These were all 7th gen consoles, and the 360 was released about a year before the PS3, so it gave it a real good head start. I think that's some of the reason it did so well, especially over the PS3. I was a huge fan of the original Xbox. I never actually personally upgraded to a 360. I went from the original to a PS3, but my kids shared a Xbox 360. I think it was a 360S, and they thought it was great. It had a fairly big library of games, 2,155 games released for the Xbox 360. It could also play over 400 of the original Xbox games just by putting the disc in. The start of Microsoft's great venture into backward compatibility. But like I say, I never really enjoyed it personally. I mean, it's a great console. It's in the same sort of gen as the PS3, so a lot of games were released on both. So if we look at a couple of the games that my kids thought were absolutely fantastic. One of them was Viva Pinata. Don't know why. But the other one was Kinect Adventures, obviously using the Kinect adapter, which was revolutionary at the time. It was hands-free sort of playing. Motion was a big thing. You had the Wii, obviously, with its motion controllers, and even the PlayStation 3 with its Move controllers. But Microsoft with the Kinect went a different direction. It sort of it scanned the room, it picked you up that way rather than having to physically have anything in your hand. So Kinect Adventures, my kids thought was absolutely fantastic. And if we ever talk about the Xbox 360, my daughter always brings up the fact that she loved the Kinect and Kinect Adventures. I did personally play a few games on it. I remember playing through Quake 4. Wasn't a big fan of Quake 4 actually, didn't think it was a great title in the Quake series, but I bought Quake 4 because when you bought it on the 360 it came with Quake 2, one of my favourite games of all time. So it's a bit of a short video. The Xbox 360 was a huge leap over the original Xbox. I think the original Xbox had something like a 733 megahertz processor. It really was like a Pentium 3 in a box with like a custom UI. But the 360, it really was advanced. It was something like a 3 gigahertz. I think it was a cell processor, similar to what was in the PS3. So the jump was absolutely huge. Really was the era of the birth of mainstream online gaming. When we had it way back in like the Dreamcast days, possible on the PS2, but it was the HD era, it was the online gaming era, and the Xbox 360 really was fantastic. It's a console that I do occasionally think about picking up. The original Xbox, retro, super expensive. Xbox One, not too badly priced. 360 in the middle, you can pick them up super cheap. Released in various different models, as they always do with consoles. Some without hard drives built in, some without Wi-Fi built in. We jumped into the 360 when it was re-released as the Slim, and everything was sort of built in, and it was all neat and tidy. I think we just had the 4 gig model, but you could buy them with larger drives in. So yeah, just a bit of a short video, and just a nod really to say that the Xbox 360 is 20 years old. One of gaming's greatest consoles, one of Microsoft's greatest releases, and if you're ever a fan of I mean, everybody was PS3 versus Xbox 360, which one was the best. Personally, I went down the PS3 route and absolutely loved it. I perhaps should have just stuck with Xbox, because I had the original Xbox. We had a 360. Going from PS2, PS3 didn't really have backward compatibility unless you had a special model. Going from the PS3 to the PS4, they cut you off completely. Whereas Microsoft are a bit more friendly towards their consumers. There are original Xbox games that you can play on newer consoles. The Series X can play some. They do try and kind of maintain this backward compatibility, which they started with the 360. So yeah, happy birthday, Xbox 360. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.